Welcome back to another Laravel tutorial, and we're going to be covering a little bit of routing, dynamic routing of course, and using the latest project, which was the relationship stuff. So let's get ahead. Now we saw different relationships between the both tables, and as you can see, before continuing, I would like to change this so the user can see his orders. So my orders will be the will be the health user orders all. Now, good. Now this will actually be the orders, and so now we can do for each orders as order echo the order name. Alright, so if we refresh the page, whoops, we're calling it, didn't need to get method. Alright, so we should add a little space here. Let's reload it. So now the user can see all his orders here, so we can simply add more spaces. Put that in bold. Alright. Now you should see my orders, and all the orders that belongs to you now. So if we try to log out, for instance, so public of logout, yeah, that will have a little error just because the SSL protocol and stuff like that. So the auth login again, if we try to log in using a let's say the other email I created, for instance, was friends. Now I will only see my order here. Now this happens for all of the users we currently have, so now we will just go back to the auth login and log in with our user. And as you can see, there's my orders here. Now, what we have to do now is simply start looking at how this dynamic routing should work for each order. Now let's say that each order will have an edit page where the user can see all the information regarding to transactions or whatever stuff there's in the order. Now, after the order name, we should of course echo HTML stuff. So that will be a link with a reference of that will be the URL of the home page slash order, and then the let's say this, whoops, well, the problem is that it should change the way I do this. I should let's say you want to echo a link, for instance, with an href of a URL. No, I will just create a URL outside, so we can simply import it here as a variable URL, and the link will end up here. Will be the button edit. Now this will echo the order name, followed by a space, I guess, and then the edit button, and of course a enter space here. Now I will just create the URL, which will be different for each order. So the URL will be the URL containing slash order and slash the order ID. Now with this simple codes, we can simply create an edit button for each order, and as you can see, this one leads to order /1 and this one leads to order /2. Now as you don't know how many orders can the user have, or may the user have, you can simply create a dynamic routing. So if you go to routes and you create a new route with the method get slash order slash and the ID of the order, so let's say an ID like that, it will call panel controller with a function, let's say show order. Now if we go to the panel controller and we create this function, show order with the variable ID. Now we should simply check if the, let's just check with the ID to see if it works. Now if we go to here, yeah, I forgot the points here. Yep. Alright, now we should see the ID of the root. If we set it 2, we should see it 2. If we set 22, we should see it 22. So if we say whatever number or even string here, it should work now. Now why is it funny? Well, the funny part of it is that we have to check several things. Now the first thing is check if you are if this order actually exists. So let's set a variable order equal to order where the ID is the ID. Now if the order does not exist, we should avert with not found error. Now as you can see, if we go here, oops, if we go here, it should echo nothing. Same with the number 2, but that will give us, for example, an error. No, it doesn't. Right. Now let's see why it doesn't do this. This is because we do not get the first result. So let's try again. This should give us an error. Not found, as you can see. And you can set custom not found pages if you go to the BIOS and you create a folder here. I think it's already created. Yeah, the errors. And we create a file here. Let's name it the error code, followed by blade and stuff like that. So you can edit this page with whatever HTML you like, and you can see that it's displayed when the order does not exist. Now if it does exist, it will not show anything, but indeed if the order does not exist, it will show not found. Now the following thing we should check out is if the user belongs to the user. So we can simply do this all together. So let's go in and say that where we can create a magic query and who like where the ID of the order and the user ID are the ID and the ID of the user who's logged in. Now if this is found, that means that there's an order which currently matches your ID and the ID of the order, so it means that you are the owner of this order. So we can create an else here, echo all good. Now let's try it out. Whoops, I forgot again. Alright, it should say all good. Now if we go to the order number 2, all good. But what if we go to number 3? It should say not found. Why does it say not found? Well, as you can see, it didn't find anything with both queries correct. Now you can simply do it with 2 different queries and just display like you are not the owner of the order or anything like that, but it's not recommended in my case, as you simply don't want the user to edit it or even know that the order exists. So let's go ahead and try to display all the information regarding to this order. So it will echo the order ID. So we'll say ID followed by these. Now we can do this several times, for instance. The order name, and we can create it at the order created at timestamp, and now we can simply echo a space here and say the owner is, you can actually display yourself, or you can do a magic query, I mean the relationship query, which will be order user name, or even email. Alright. Now as you can see, this is the relation which I showed before, and as you can see, if we reload the page, can I forget everything today? Alright. It should say that the order name is my first order, the ID 1, and the created at timestamp, and the owner. We can simply say it like that, or even like this. Order user name and then just like that. As you can see, we'll say the name first, then the email, like that. Whatever. So as you can see, we can only access our order, and we cannot access the other orders. But what if we log in as another user? First of all, let's just add a logout button into the main page. So it will say welcome back, and we'll create a simple link here. The logout URL will be the URL /auth /logout. So let's see how it goes. Forgot it. Yep, that's because these should be small. Now we should have a little space here maybe. Alright, so you can log out here, And again, that's problem of the SSL protocol. So let's go to home directory, it should redirect us. We simply have to log in as another user, for example, friends. And as you can see, I only have one order, which I can of course edit or probably look at it. So in fact, if I try to edit the other one, which we were looking before, it says it's not found. So that means it currently works correct. And the relationship, of course, is pretty much easy to use, and as you can see, it's pretty much useful.